What does it actually take to get your dream life? Is it 16 hours of work and cold plunges and working out and running 10 miles a day? Or can you be a degenerate and still attain everything that you possibly want to attain, right? How much work does it actually take? Do you need to work for 20,000 hours on one specific craft? Or can you just do 500 hours of the most targeted work possible and you're going to get to that same spot? What is the definitive answer? I think the reality of this is that there is no definitive answer, and that's what makes it so difficult. This is why so many people actually get hung up, is because there's no specific one path. The path is different for every single person, and that's what makes the journey so special, is because no matter who you are, you have a different journey. Everybody's on their own timeline, on their own journey. But I think at the end of the day, there's some core things that it's going to take to actually be successful. Really one core thing that most people just can't do. It can really be broken down to a multitude of things. Like I said, there's no one specific answer. I think the thing that I've seen across all entrepreneurs, across all walks of life, in person and online, people who are very successful, they have one thing in common. That's that they're able to break their identity repeatedly. Okay, what does this mean? When somebody decides to become an entrepreneur, they have to completely gut everything that they used to think was reality. I know that when I first started, let's just do some background. When I first started, I used to play video games all day. I was in college and I smoked every day. I didn't work out. I didn't read. I hated reading. I hated running. I hated working out. I hated doing all the things that were actually going to develop myself and make me that best version of myself. The one thing I had to do was completely annihilate the identity that I used to have. I had to rip it down from the top all the way to the bottom. Everything. I used to literally hate running and reading. Probably my two least favorite things in the entire world. And I do them every day now. And I just had to completely rewire my identity. My identity was built around somebody who's going to go to school and make 200 to 300K a year, retire at 30 to 40, and make 10K a month for the rest of my life and do whatever I want. Cool. Honestly, better than the average person, okay? Definitely better than the average person. But was that my max potential? No. I had to self-analyze and take 110% accountability of my life, who I was, how I looked, the shape I was in, every single piece. I used to be chopped. Even when I first started this channel, I was chopped. Go look at video 1. I look so much better now. My physique is so much better now. The gym progress is crazy. I've had a gym for 1 month and my body looks 10 times better. And I've never even had a gym before. This is my first time having a gym in my life. The point that I'm making here is I had to completely destroy everything that I thought of myself as and rebuild it from the ground up. And guess what? I'm in a position now where not exactly, but to a degree, I have to completely destroy that again because I hit the version of myself that I used to tell myself I was. And now that we're there, reality and physical reality and my mental reality have caught up. Now I need to, I've bumped my mental reality up here again. But that's going to get my physical reality to be there, I have to become a new person. And I have to completely change my identity once again, right? The most important thing is that you can completely kill yourself over and over and over throughout life. Evolve or die. Pierre Curie just dropped a video on this. And it's just a small blurb in the video, but the title was Evolve or Die. And he's in a position where he now has to evolve or he's getting left behind. Every entrepreneur faces this position a million times in their life. This is the one thing that normal people don't do. They get a job, they make a good salary, and they might get $1,000 to $2,000 a raise on average throughout their entire career. I don't know the exact math, but it's not that much. They're happy with that. That's what they're gonna keep doing, and they're gonna have the white picket fence and the kids, and their kids are gonna play soccer, and they're just gonna keep generally being the same person throughout their entire life. Most people struggle to take 110% accountability of everything that's in their life. If you're fat, it's your fucking fault. If you're broke, it's your fucking fault. If you have terrible relationships, it's your fucking fault. If you're single, it's your fucking fault. If you don't live where you want to, it's your fault. Dude, I could go on and on and on and on. If you don't have the job you want, it's your fault. Everything in your life is your fault. And most people can't take 100% accountability. It sucks. It hurts. It hurt me when I had to look at my body, look at my income, look at my position in life and be like, damn, bro, low-key, you're a fucking loser. That shit does not feel good. But once I was able to do that, then I was able to take actions to get me to be my best self, and that felt good. But the initial feels fucking terrible, and you feel crazy for a while. You feel fucking crazy for 6 months when you're telling everybody you're gonna do this and you completely change who you are, but nothing in physical reality is different. Everything is the exact same, and everybody's looking at you like, who the fuck is that guy? Who does he think he is? Obviously, over enough time period, it'll catch up. But in the start, people are like, this guy's fucking tripping, bro. Everybody will be like, you're tripping. Your family, your friends, your girlfriend at the time, if you have one, the people you used to go to high school with, people you went to college with, everybody around you is gonna be, who knew you before, is gonna be like, this dude is tripping. And that's the uncomfortable, that's the difficult part. That's destroying your old self to become a new self. I had to completely break who I was and build it from the ground up, and build it with 100% conviction that that's who I was. Another thing that makes it difficult. You can tell yourself you're somebody, but if you don't truly believe it in your heart, it doesn't matter. You aren't really the person you're saying you are. So I think the number one thing that people just get so hung up on is killing your old self. You have to destroy it. If you understand, right? If you can logically understand that drinking and smoking and vaping and hanging around bad influences, playing video games, watching TV, I could go on and on and on a list. If you understand that all these things aren't making you a better version of yourself, and in turn aren't allowing you to actually make it, actually get your dream life, then why are you still doing that? They're comfortable, they're easy, it's easy dopamine. It's not fun at the start when you decide to change your life and become a better person. That shit sucked. I looked back and that shit sucked. Now I love a good 16-hour workday fucks everything else. A 16-hour workday plus a run plus a gym and my mental's aligned, fuck everything else. I could care less about the money, the sex, and the food. Give me that. That's what I want. And that's why I've been able to progress so much, and I'm gonna keep progressing, is because I love the process as well. Most people don't love the process and the journey to become who they need to become. This is one thing I wish I could even wrap my head around more when I started, was enjoying and loving the process to become who I am now. Now at a certain point, I was able to realize and actually love the process, but you know, for a point in time when you're first starting, it's really difficult to see that other side because you're doing shit that sucks 24/7. If you go from dopamine maxing, I would literally rip the bong and play video games for 10 hours straight and just be so blasted, faded high the whole time, just locked in on the video game. To no smoking, no video games, and working and cognitively actually having to use my brain for 10 hours straight, that shit was not easy at the start. There's no magical thing. I'm not some magical, super dialed person naturally. Naturally, I was the opposite of that, actually. And I'm not some super focused, just been an entrepreneur since I was a little kid. I never had the lemonade stand. I never sold shit to anybody before. E-com is the first entrepreneurial thing I ever even started. I didn't care about money at all growing up. And that's the thing. It's also not about money for me. It's about being my best self. And that's the entire goal. And that's why I've been able to go to such a deep level of killing that old identity of myself and building a new one. Because at the end of the day, it's life mastery. It's self-mastery. Let me actually read you guys something that I wrote down in one of my journals/books today that kind of goes over this. So let me grab it. Hold on. Okay, this was just in the middle of my workday here, and I just wanted to get some thoughts out, write some things down on paper, you know, maybe practice my cursive a little bit. As you guys can see, we are locked in on the cursive here. And yeah, just talk about some things that I had on my mind. This is just straight off the dome. So, and it might sound, I hope this doesn't sound a little dumb. It might sound a little dumb. This is just what I was thinking about. How to become great at anything. In life, we all do something. We all work, we all have hobbies, we all want to be great at something. Yet so few of us achieve a level of actual mastery. Why is this? Is it the lack of reps? Lack of effort? No. It's the lack of intentionality. Most people don't move with purpose. They just move. They don't think. It's funny that I'm slightly struggling to read my own cursive. I can write cursive better than I can read it. They don't think for themselves. The day I started to really think, what do I actually want in life? is the day this changed for me. I started to think, what would younger me want? What goals, missions, accomplishments, and type of person would he wish to be by the day he dies? This is why I don't care about ecom. I care about me. Being the best me. Achieving self-mastery. Never waiting a moment of this God-given gift we call life. That's the whole one page. Now, that's a little different than the exact topic here that I'm talking about, but I think you can kind of get the point. It's how do we become great at something? What does it actually take to achieve your dreams and to really lock in? How do you get there? The answer is so different for every single person because everybody has different dreams, everybody has different goals, everybody wants to go somewhere else. But I think the one thing we can all realize is that it's about being the best version of yourself. Everybody has their own potential, and 99% of people don't hit that potential. For me, that was the biggest realization. Every time I was doing something, every time I felt like quitting or I was getting unmotivated, I'm like, I'm on a mission to become the best version of myself. This is what I need to do. And so when I realized that, and I realized what the best version of myself actually looks like, I was able to figure out the actions to take to get there. So really, what you need to do is figure out what the best version of yourself actually looks like. Who do you want to become? Genuinely, if there was no limitations on life, who do you want to become? Because that is how I structure my life, and the shit I have now and what I've done in a year and a half of business, most people don't even fucking touch in their life. I'm just being honest. Most people can't. What is the percentage of Americans that can afford $3,000 per month rent at 40 years old? I'm not gonna lie, it's probably not a lot, okay? And I'm not sitting here trying to flex, that's not my point at all. My point is that I looked at my life and I said, if there's no fucking ceiling, where can I go? And I just started working. And I act as if there's no ceiling because there is no ceiling. The only ceiling you put is on yourself. These are called limiting beliefs. Another video. Don't have time for all that today. This video feels already like it's gonna be kind of long. Who could you become if there's no ceiling? First step. How do you become that person? Second step. Third step, destroy your current self and become that person and do all the actions that person's gonna do and you'll get there. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it does. Like, share, comment, send this to a bro, a girl, whoever, send this to somebody. It's a banger video. Peace.